Chosen one, not every storm deserves your thunder. There are forces that want you to react, to pour out your light into meaningless chaos, just to drain you before you reach the real war meant for your destiny. You've been feeling the pull, every noise, every challenge, every small disruption calling for your attention, but deep down your spirit already knows which battles belong to you and which ones are distractions. You were chosen for something greater than proving your strength to people who never believed in your peace. Every ounce of energy you give must return to your purpose, not disappear into the void of conflict. This season is about choosing silence over ego, peace over reaction, and vision over validation. Before we go deeper, I want you to stay until the end of this message because this one carries something powerful for you. If you feel this truth moving inside you, I want you to write your warmest wishes and 777 in the comments below. Let it be a small act of faith, a signal to the universe that you are ready to align with divine timing, to release what doesn't serve you, and to step fully into your power. When you write your wish, imagine it already happening. Feel it, own it, let it live. The energy you release with the belief doesn't disappear. It multiplies, it circulates, it comes back transformed into miracles. Every chosen one faces the temptation to fight everything, to prove themselves, to show that they cannot be walked over or underestimated. But the truth is, some of the loudest battles are just traps designed to distract you from the real mission. The enemy of your destiny is not always destruction. Sometimes it's diversion. There are moments when silence is not weakness but wisdom. When walking away is not surrender but strategy. Because not every mountain is yours to climb and not every voice deserves an answer. You are here to conserve divine energy for what truly shifts your path forward. There are invisible wars happening around you right now, arguments meant to steal your peace, rumors meant to distort your focus, sudden opportunities that seem exciting but secretly drain your time. You're being tested not by how well you fight, but by how well you choose. The strongest warriors in spirit know when to hold their fire, because their power doesn't come from reaction, it comes from direction. Every reaction costs you energy, every thought of revenge, every moment of frustration, every spiral of overthinking, it all consumes the same energy that could be building your destiny. You've been feeling that lately, haven't you? The fatigue that comes from caring too much about what doesn't matter. The heaviness that lingers after defending yourself, when deep down you knew it wasn't even worth it. That's not weakness. That's your spirit learning discernment. You're evolving past the need to prove your worth through argument or resistance. You're stepping into a season where your silence speaks louder than confrontation, and your peace becomes your most dangerous weapon. Because peace unsettles those who thrive on chaos. People will try to pull you into their storms because they can't stand that you've found stillness. They want you to match their chaos, to come down to their level, to feel what they feel. But you were never meant to fight every noise that calls your name. The storms are loud because they see your calm as a threat, and they're right, it is. When a chosen one stays calm in the middle of war, the enemy loses control. Your peace is power, your restraint is armor, your detachment is divine intelligence. Remember this, silence isn't empty. It's full of answers. The things you don't react to reveal how far you've come. You're learning that the moment you stop feeding a fire, it dies. You're realizing that some things only exist because you keep giving them attention. That's how energy works. It flows where focus goes. Every time you choose not to engage, you reclaim your energy, your power, your clarity. That's how the universe aligns things for you, through moments of stillness where you're not fighting, but listening. There are blessings that can only come to the version of you that's not exhausted from unnecessary wars. Your peace creates space for alignment. Your silence allows divine whispers to reach you. And in that quiet, you begin to understand what truly matters. You start to see which connections are divine and which ones are draining. You recognize who brings calm to your spirit and who only comes to stir it. You see that walking away isn't rejection, it's redirection. Some people will never understand your calm. They'll misread your silence as weakness, but let them. You're not obligated to explain your peace to those who profit from chaos. There is a certain kind of strength that doesn't roar, it radiates. You carry that now, the quiet, unshakable energy of someone who knows that not every battle is theirs. That kind of energy terrifies the insecure because they can't control what doesn't react. You've reached a point where your growth no longer requires you to respond, it just requires you to rise. The universe moves differently when you stop chasing validation. You start noticing that doors open naturally. People reveal themselves without effort, and the truth surfaces on its own. That's because your silence isn't passive, it's magnetic. You've detached from the illusion that you have to fight for every inch of peace. The truth is, the more peaceful you become, the more protected you are. The energy you once wasted on defense now fuels your destiny. Don't let guilt pull you back into unnecessary wars. Some people are not meant to understand your absence. They'll notice your distance and try to guilt you into chaos again, saying you've changed, that you're cold, that you don't care anymore. But you do care. You just care about your peace more. You care about your purpose. You care about the energy it takes to get up every morning and build something divine from the ashes of your past battles. You've fought enough wars to know that not all of them lead to victory. Some lead to exhaustion, some lead to regret, and some teach you the most important lesson of all, that your peace was never negotiable. You're not losing when you let something go. You are returning to yourself. You are not quitting when you stop arguing. You are choosing what's worth your energy. And the universe rewards those who protect their energy as sacred currency. There will always be people who misunderstand your silence, who say you're avoiding reality, who call you detached or emotionless. But they don't see the battles you've already fought inside yourself. They don't understand the cost of inner peace. They don't know how many nights you've had to remind yourself not to react, not to chase, not to justify. But heaven knows. The universe sees the restraint it takes to stay calm in chaos. That restraint is not a sign of indifference, it's a sign of mastery. There is divine intelligence in your stillness. The energy you don't waste on noise is the same energy that multiplies your manifestations. Every time you resist the urge to fight for your ego, you strengthen your soul. Every time you walk away from drama, you walk closer to destiny. You've been through enough to know that not everything deserves your voice. Some victories are silent. Some confirmations happen in private. Some blessings unfold only when you stop explaining yourself. This season is about protecting your energy like it's sacred ground, because it is. You are no longer available for every argument, every confusion, every emotional storm. You are preserving your strength for what actually builds your legacy. There's a power that only arrives when you stop scattering your focus. You've been pouring your light into too many small fires. Now, the universe is asking you to redirect it toward the flame that truly matters, the one inside you. Your peace is your new strategy. Your silence is your declaration of independence. You don't owe anyone access to your energy just because they demand a reaction. You owe it to yourself to guard your light until it shines in the right direction. You owe it to your destiny to choose wisely where your energy flows, and when you do, everything starts aligning. You become magnetic again. Opportunities start chasing you. The things that once drained you fall away naturally because they can no longer survive in your frequency. Stay calm, chosen one. You're not ignoring life, you're mastering it. The true warrior knows that energy is sacred and every battle comes with a cost. Choose the ones that elevate your spirit. Let the rest fade into silence. Chosen one, the energy within you is not endless, it's divine, but it's not meant to be wasted on everything that demands your attention. Every argument, every judgment, every whisper trying to drag you into chaos is a test of spiritual maturity. The old version of you might have chased down every rumor, explained every action, defended every intention, but that version of you was learning how to protect peace. Now, you're entering a stage where your energy becomes sacred currency, spent only on what multiplies your light, never on what drains it. You're no longer reactive, you're selective, and that's evolution. You've probably noticed how the universe has been placing certain situations around you, people provoking you without reason, plans suddenly falling apart, and moments where your patience is tested beyond measure. None of these are coincidences. These are divine mirrors showing you where your energy leaks. You're being trained to recognize that not every door that opens is an invitation, and not every noise deserves a response. The universe isn't punishing you, it's preparing you. Every challenge that feels like chaos is actually a classroom where you learn emotional mastery. When you no longer react to everything, you shift dimensions, you begin to operate from wisdom instead of wounds. You start to understand that true control isn't about dominating others. It's about not letting anything dominate your peace. That's what makes you dangerous to darkness. You've started to understand the power of emotional silence. The moment you choose not to engage in pointless battles, the lower energies lose access to you. You stop feeding their survival. You break the cycle. That's why peace feels uncomfortable at first. It's the silence after the storm that used to define you. You must understand, Chosen One, that peace doesn't mean passivity. It means precision. You're not ignoring things, you're filtering them. You're no longer letting your emotions be hijacked by temporary chaos. You're learning to stand still even when everything around you tries to provoke movement. Because in stillness, divine direction becomes audible. It's not that God stopped speaking, it's that the noise around you became too loud. That's why you were called to silence, so you can hear again. There's a moment in every chosen one's life when the noise gets overwhelming, the betrayals, the misunderstandings, the unexpected losses, they all come crashing in at once. That's the testing ground for discernment. You'll be tempted to defend yourself, to prove your innocence, to confront every wrong done to you, but that's the trap. Because while you're explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you, your purpose waits untouched in the corner. You can't heal and explain yourself at the same time. You can't rise and fight everything beneath your frequency. Sometimes you have to let people believe what they want, let them talk, let them assume. Because while they waste energy building narratives about you, you're building empires in silence. That's how divine energy works. It multiplies when it's not constantly leaking through conflict. The quieter you become, the louder your results will speak. You're stepping into a stage where your work will speak for you. Your peace will become your reputation. Your silence will be your answer. Not every war ends with a victor. Some end with exhaustion. You fought too many battles trying to be understood by those who were never capable of seeing your depth. You've given explanations to hearts that were already closed and offered kindness to minds too consumed by pride to receive it. But now your spirit is tired of performing peace. It wants to live peace. It wants the kind of quiet that feels like safety, not suppression. The kind of stillness that feels like alignment, not avoidance. And in this stillness, something powerful begins to happen. You start to see the truth behind every battle. You see how many of your past wars were actually distractions meant to delay your evolution. You realize how much energy you spent trying to fix people who were sent to test your boundaries. You remember how many nights you cried, not because you were weak, but because your soul was shedding the need to be involved in everything, and every tear was your spirit releasing unnecessary wars. Do you feel that subtle pull inside you, the one telling you to withdraw, to move in silence, to stop over-explaining? That's not apathy, that's awareness. That's your higher self leading you out of confusion. You don't need to fight to prove that you're right anymore. Truth doesn't need your defense. It reveals itself through time. That's the law of divine order. The same people who doubted you will eventually bear witness to the light you protected when no one understood it. The universe is asking you to conserve your flame, to stop setting yourself on fire to warm others who refuse to leave the cold, to recognize that not every invitation to chaos deserves your presence. Every time you say no to meaningless battles, you say yes to destiny. Every time you choose silence over reaction, you give permission for divine timing to work on your behalf. The less you fight for your ego, the more heaven fights for your purpose. So breathe, step back, let peace do the talking. You're no longer meant to win arguments, you're meant to win atmospheres. When you walk into a room, your calm should shift the energy. When others raise their voices, your silence should make them question their own noise. You're not here to compete, you're here to vibrate differently. That's why some people can't stand your presence anymore. You're too quiet for chaos, too calm for conflict, too grounded to be provoked. Remember this, chosen one. You are not being called to every battlefield because your war is not external, it's internal. The real fight is for your focus. The enemy doesn't need to destroy you if he can distract you. Distraction is destruction disguised as importance. That's why every little disagreement, every pointless argument, every sudden crisis is a test. Will you spend your energy or save it? Will you react or redirect? And when you finally learn to redirect, your entire world shifts. You start to manifest faster because your energy is no longer scattered. You begin to attract peace instead of conflict. You stop chasing validation and start magnetizing opportunities. Because the same energy that once went into reaction is now being used for creation. That's divine alchemy, turning chaos into power. When you no longer chase the noise, you start to hear the whisper of purpose again. It's quiet, but it's clear. Protect your energy. The world needs you whole. That's the call of every chosen one, stepping into alignment. And now it's your turn to answer. Chosen one, this is where your transformation becomes unshakable. You've walked through storms, defended yourself in battles that were never truly yours, and carried pain that wasn't even meant for your spirit. But now, the air is changing. The old you, the one who used to chase closure, the one who used to defend peace by fighting chaos, is dissolving. What's emerging is quieter, wiser, stronger. You're becoming the type of soul that no longer needs to prove anything, because your energy already speaks for you. The world will soon recognize it, not through what you say, but through what you no longer react to. You see, there's a divine pattern in the way energy flows. Every battle you choose to engage in becomes a cord of connection, an invisible thread that ties your spirit to the outcome. The more threads you attach to meaningless things, people's opinions, misunderstandings, small conflicts, the more tangled your path becomes. But when you cut those cords, when you choose to reserve your response, you untie yourself from unnecessary karma. The chosen never move through life fighting everyone. They move through life mastering themselves. Because self-mastery is the highest form of victory. Look around you, notice how your silence unsettles those who used to control you through reaction. They don't know what to do now that your peace is no longer accessible. They can't feed off your responses because you've stopped offering them your energy. That's the power of spiritual discipline. It starves negativity. Chaos can't survive where peace refuses to engage. The darkness gets louder when you ignore it, but only because it knows its time is ending. The less you respond, the faster false energy burns itself out. There was a time when you thought silence was weakness. When you believed you had to stand up for yourself every single time. You fought to be understood, to be seen, to be respected. But now you understand that people's inability to see your value doesn't reduce it. Their misunderstanding doesn't require your explanation. The ones who truly see your spirit never needed convincing. You were exhausting yourself trying to win the approval of those who were never assigned to your destiny. That was the old lesson. Stop trying to make the blind see. Now you're in a new chapter. One where your peace is sacred territory and only those with clean intentions are allowed access. You've realized that silence isn't empty, it's full of clarity. Every moment you don't respond, you hear your intuition more clearly. Every time you hold your tongue, the universe whispers louder. This is how divine communication happens. It flows best when you're not fighting everything that tries to trigger you, because triggers are teachers. They show you what still needs healing. And lately, you've been passing tests that used to break you. You no longer need to win arguments. You're busy winning freedom. Understand this deeply. Some battles exist only to test your restraint. The moment you respond, you fail the lesson. The moment you stay still, you pass it. Energy flows where attention goes. So if you constantly focus on chaos, chaos expands. But when you focus on peace, even the noise around you begins to fade. The storm still exists, but it can't touch you anymore. That's what happens when you ascend. You don't destroy the storm, you rise above its reach. And here's the truth that will set you free. Walking away doesn't mean you lost. It means you decided your peace was worth more than your pride. There's no weakness in choosing distance. You're not cold, you're clear. You're not detached. You're discerning. You're not heartless. You're healed. People will call you distant when they can no longer control your emotions, but that's fine. Every version of you that once needed their validation has already been buried. What's left is unbothered strength, the calm after years of unnecessary storms. You've probably felt a strange quiet inside you lately. A sense that you don't have the same emotional reactions you once did. That's not numbness, that's healing. That's what it feels like when peace replaces panic, when wisdom replaces anger. You don't need to match anyone's energy anymore because your energy is already magnetic. The universe mirrors what you embody, not what you chase. So when you embody peace, it surrounds you. When you embody love, it multiplies. When you embody stillness, chaos loses direction. There will still be moments when old triggers come knocking. People will test your patience. Situations will tempt you to react. But this time you'll feel the shift inside. The moment you breathe and choose silence instead of argument, something unseen begins to work for you. The energy you conserve becomes the seed of your next miracle. The universe always rewards restraint, because silence is not just absence of words, it's an act of faith. It says, I trust that the truth will unfold without my interference. You are being prepared for divine elevation, and with elevation comes greater tests of focus. The higher you go, the more distractions will try to reach you, but they can't touch what's protected by peace. You are learning the difference between reaction and response, between impulse and intuition. Every time you pause before acting, you strengthen your spirit. Every time you walk away instead of proving your point, you build spiritual muscle. That's how the chosen rise, not through loud wars, but through silent mastery. And soon, those who doubted your silence will see what it was building behind the scenes. Your quiet seasons are never empty. They are incubators for greatness. The universe always amplifies what grows in stillness. The projects, the healing, the clarity, all of it matures in silence. That's why your isolation never meant abandonment. It was divine preservation. You were being pulled back so your energy could realign with purpose. You were being hidden to be refined, not rejected. Chosen one, don't fear being misunderstood anymore. Don't waste your energy explaining to people who have already decided not to understand. Your light offends the unhealed, but it also awakens the ready. Every person who misreads your peace teaches you who can't walk with you to the next level. The ones who deserve your energy will never demand it. They'll match it, they'll add to it, they'll guard it like it's sacred because it is. So guard it fiercely. Stop fighting for places that make you small. Stop pouring your divine energy into things that end in confusion. The right battles won't drain you, they'll refine you. You'll know the difference because the wrong wars leave you empty, but the right ones expand you. Protect your energy like a kingdom. Not every visitor deserves entry, not every knock deserves an answer, and not every storm deserves your thunder. You are no longer fighting for peace, you are peace. You are no longer searching for strength. You embody it. You are no longer reacting, you're radiating. And that, chosen one, is what terrifies the darkness the most. Your refusal to fight what no longer deserves your attention. Chosen one, this final moment isn't about ending a message. It's about sealing a truth inside your soul. You have learned that your peace is your power, that silence is not surrender, but strategy. Every time you held your tongue, every time you turned away from pointless battles, the universe took note. You were not being ignored, you were being elevated. The stillness you chose became the soil where divine plans began to bloom. You see now that not every attack needed an answer because not every noise was worthy of your frequency. You've come far through seasons where everything demanded your reaction. People questioned your worth, situations pushed your limits, and storms tried to make you forget your calling. But you stayed. You breathed through the noise. You waited until the chaos burned itself out. That's what makes you powerful beyond measure. Your ability to remain calm when others lose themselves. That calmness isn't emptiness. It's alignment. It means heaven trusts you with peace even when the world offers war. You are entering a time where your energy must be guarded like treasure. You are no longer available for distractions dressed as opportunities. You are no longer entertaining arguments that echo in circles. You are no longer explaining your light to those committed to misunderstanding it. You're stepping into divine maturity, where your response is no longer emotional, but intentional. You respond to purpose, not provocation. You move from wisdom, not wounds. That's what separates the chosen from the crowd. They know when to act and when to be still. The people who once tried to provoke you will soon be silenced by the glow of your peace. The very things that once demanded your energy will lose power because you stopped feeding them. You've learned that the real victory is not winning the argument, it's keeping your frequency untouched. That's why heaven smiles upon the quiet warriors. The ones who could destroy but choose peace instead. The ones who could react but choose stillness. The ones who know that energy is life and life must not be spent recklessly. When you wake tomorrow, walk with quiet confidence. Let your presence do the speaking. You don't have to prove your growth. Your peace proves it for you, and the storms will still come, but now you know how to stand unmoved. You've mastered the art of walking away without bitterness, of loving without attachment, of protecting without isolating. You've realized that your calm isn't weakness, it's wisdom earned through fire. And that fire no longer burns you, it purifies you. Chosen one, your silence has power. Your stillness commands respect. You don't need to shout your truth, the universe already echoes it. Those who are meant to understand will feel it, not hear it. So hold your head high, move in quiet grace. Let your energy speak louder than your words ever could. Not every battle is worth your energy, and now you finally understand why. Your destiny was never to fight everything, it was to master yourself. And you have. Chosen one, peace is your final victory. You don't need to shout to prove your strength. The silence surrounding you is already proof of divine alignment. What once drained you now fades without effort because you've mastered the art of letting go. Keep protecting your light, for not every hand deserves to hold it. The universe sees your restraint, honors your patience, and rewards your calm with miracles unfolding quietly within your peace. Your peace now speaks louder than any storm ever could.